steps to ensure that the person who had spent much of 2020 threatening, intimidating, harassing, stalking Miss Bellis.
And they choked me out in at the county jail. Brandon Williams filmed it, and I sent it to all you guys. Mayor back then, I sent it to every one of you. And when they was torturing me, he says to the guards that are going to torture me, he's just one of our auditors. This came off of his body-worn camera. He says, he's just one of our auditors. He doesn't want to be told what to do, and he don't want to follow instructions. And I think that's called an American anywhere else. But they torture you for that at Pima County Jail with Brandon Williams filming it so they can...
This is pure evil, this is pure evil. When I woke up this morning, my only intention was to look in my reflection with mutual respect, yeah. I know I'm more than just a badge and a weapon, but when you see me coming, you recognize my profession. You should believe that I'ma leave an impression, even if it means I gotta put my knee on your neck, man. Was never meant for you to pass this test. The last question on the quiz is what the fuck you expect, man? A little money made them want some protection, because so many with no money made the money feel threatened. And we accept there's gonna be some exceptions, but it's built on a connection of ownership and possessions. Baby boy, you pay attention to them lessons. If you flexing any teeth, I'ma send you to the dentist. It all depends on how you fit into my spectrum, from lectures to handcuffs to beatdowns to death wish. I was told to tell a one-sided story, and that's why I had to eliminate your perspective. I was afraid for my death, I had to make an assessment. Ain't my day to be checked, I felt the weight on my chest. I was told to tell a one-sided story, so say a prayer, cause this one's gone to heaven. Innocence is a submissive position, it's a one-sided story, read it to your children.
Jack Mihal.
Hello. You also have a administrative order in the courts where we can't record in the traditional public forums. I think that we need to do away with that, Mayor Regina Romero. You ought to look into these unjust and unconstitutional things that they're doing with the courts. We need these.
This is pure evil, this is pure evil.
Not even a blink of the eye. That's about all I get out of you. It's about all you're worth for the city of Tucson. Every one of you people here are worth absolutely nothing as far as my tax dollars. I'm sick and tired of paying taxes to people that are just gonna steal from the homeless, throw the homeless out of places that they have no other place to go. And you guys are trying to come up with these resources, funneling a bunch of money in your own pockets. I was recently arrested, Regina Romero, for trespassing on a public sidewalk and for disorderly conduct for what somebody else said. And then your Tucson City Courts railroaded me on that. I'm sure you don't have a comment on that, but you guys need to think about your actions of the people below you and start thinking about the recourse and the consequences and repercussions that could come to you folks. I think you folks should be held accountable. There's no other recourse for any of us. So we're here to speak on behalf of the people, not you corrupt, bureaucratic, political parasites is what you guys are. Every one of you. Sell TEP. I don't give a shit about TEP. That means nothing to me. Do what you guys want to do with it. You want to make everything a private entity so you can make up rules and there's policies and procedures override our constitutional rights? That's not going to fly for very much longer. I'm just letting you guys know, I'm warning you guys. Lawsuits and shit are going to start flying. So I'm to the end of my ropes. I've appealed these decisions by these judges, and I've got no other place to go. So I'll continue to come here and speak my mind. And for this scumbag to tell somebody that they can't boo, but people can clap, I'm gonna boo to that. You're gonna arrest me for that? I didn't think so. It's my constitutional right to come up here and speak. It's my constitutional right to clap, and it's my constitutional right to boo if I want to. Don't arrest people for booing.
I don't believe you, I don't believe you. This is pure evil, this is pure evil. When I woke up this morning, my only intention was to look at my reflection with mutual respect, yeah. I know I'm more than just a badge and a weapon, but when you see me coming, you recognize my profession. You should believe that I'ma leave an impression, even if it means I gotta put my knee on your neck, man. Was never meant for you to pass this test. The last question on the quiz is what the hell you expect, man? A little money made them want some protection, because the many with no money make the money feel threatened. And we accept there's gonna be some exceptions, but it's built on the connection of ownership and possession. So baby boy, you pay attention to them lessons. If you flexing any teeth, I'ma send you to the dentist. It all depends on how you fit into my spectrum, from lectures to handcuffs to beatdowns to death wish. I was told to tell a one-sided story. That's why I had to eliminate your perspective. I was afraid for my death, I had to make an assessment. It ain't my day to be checked, I felt the weight on my chest. I was told to tell a one-sided tale, so say a prayer, cause this one's gone to heaven. Innocence is a submissive position, it's a one-sided story, read it to your children. And I don't believe you, I don't believe you. And this is pure evil, this is pure evil. Put your eyes where my hands can see. Put your eyes where my hands can see. You don't wanna dance with me.
People of Arizona voted to constitutionalize a victim's Bill of Rights. This granted victims in the state of Arizona several state constitutional rights, including the right to refuse an interview, deposition, or other discovery request by a defendant. Including the right to refuse an interview, deposition, or other discovery request by a defendant. Including the right to refuse an interview, deposition, or other discovery request by a defendant. The bill defines victim as a, quote, person against whom the criminal offense has been committed. The bill defines victim as a, quote, person against whom the criminal offense has been committed. The bill defines victim as a, quote, person against whom the criminal offense has been committed. The bill defines victim as a, quote, person against whom the criminal offense
Crime victims coming
has been committed. Person against whom the criminal offense has been committed.
After committing a disorderly conduct crime.
Except if the person is in custody for an offense or is the accused, end quote. That law also offers something called absolute privilege regarding a victim, meaning a victim is protected from statements made to police in reporting a crime, regardless of the accuracy of the statement to police. This is meant to promote fearlessness in a victim coming forward. This week, I want to talk about
straight bullshit. So yeah, it may do what he just said and make victims fearless about coming forward, but it also 100% protects any lying person that claims to be a victim. And you know who designates the victims as victims and invokes victims' rights for them? The cops. Well, okay, what if the cops just, like I said before, arrest you for disorderly conduct, which is a, whatever they call crime, they call it a crime, but they put the victim as themselves or as the courthouse, you know what I mean? So now the courthouse has all the protections that the victim does when it comes to any kind of civil liability while there's still a criminal case going on, which they can, you know, make last years, which is what they're fucking doing. Here, this is another little trick they're going to try to pull because, see, here in the 1990s, right when they voted to pass this victims' rights thing, they also removed the constitutional protections from the injunction against harassment statutes. So now constitutionally protected activity isn't included in part of the behavior needed to get an injunction against harassment. For example, if they don't answer your phone calls and you keep calling them, then they can get an injunction against you because you're trying to get a hold of them for whatever purposes, you know, whatever civil purposes you're trying to get a hold of them for. They can just ignore your phone calls and get an injunction on you and use those phone calls as the basis, even though it's lawfully, legally, you know, protected conduct, it still can be used as a basis for an injunction against harassment. So there's another thing. Also, too, what happens is they set up through the prosecutor's office, they get notifications whenever your case has any kind of action in it, like you get convicted or probation or post-release, post-sentence. Anytime something happens, they get updates through the prosecutor's office. Now, a building, like, for example, O'Reilly's, might forget about the civil litigation they have pending once ever your criminal problems are cleared up, but not anymore. Like, if you get your case dismissed, they will get a notification at the victim will get a notification at the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor will let the victim know, and then the victim, O'Reilly's, will know how to move forward with their, you know what I mean? Anyway, it just keeps them updated in a way that they shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? And then here's the part that I think is crazy. They're required to, all the victims' forms, like once, they called it a quarter, but once every quarter, what they do is take all the victims' forms, all the ones that have to have legally redacted information, like the cops can release, police reports and shit to you and not redacted, but these that are on this form, the victims have to legally have their shit redacted, right? And they turn that in all to the Attorney General, and gets reviewed by the Attorney General when he comes to visit or whatever. So that's another reason that I think that's what's going on. Anyways, I'm making a whole nother video about some crooked ass motherfuckers, but I just wanted to show you all the Attorney General thing. And somebody had a question about it, but I can't remember who it was.